Welcome back to Don's Life. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining today. In this video, we are going to tend to a mod that I've wanted to do for a few years now. Some of you have probably beaten me to it. That's okay. These things happen. I can't be first with everything, although I do have quite a few things done to this truck already. But you're going to want to stick around for this one because we are going to tint these useless spotlights, but we're also going to make them. Let's go. Close the garage there so we don't get interrupted. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to do is we are going to need to remove these spotlights right here so we can make the change that we're going to make today. And if you didn't know, you could do this already, but hold down lock once, hold it down the second time, and all your windows will roll down. It's going to be a little easier to do this with the windows rolled down. You'll see. Now I have made a video before removing these caps so we could wrap them. I wrapped them white at one time when they were matching the truck when it was white. It's obviously not that color now. I'll explain what has to be done because it might be a little bit hard to film with one hand and take this apart. There is a round circular plate, so that's what we want to call it, that presses up against this mirror. And there are 6 tabs that go around that plate. You can get to 2 or 3 of them with a little flat screwdriver just through the top here, different ways that you push the mirror around. If you can release 2 or 3 of those, it relieves the pressure, and then you can usually push down on the mirror and pop it out. I'll film myself doing it. I might overlay some footage from the first time I took these off, so you'll see it is a different looking truck at that time, but either way, we'll try to walk you through how to take this apart. Okay, I got my screwdriver here, just a little flat screwdriver. Try and get in position. And you can get to the top clip right here, using my fingers to kind of keep outward pressure. And then the next clip is over here. It's really hard in these lighting conditions. There's 2. Remember, you can twist the mirror. And there's a 3rd one. There, so I got 3 undone. Move that before I knock it down, so that's what I'll end up doing. Then if I just kind of push down, it releases the pressure off the other clips, and now they come out. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they just need to pry outwards. So if you can gently pry those outwards, or inside the disc that's here, pry that up a little bit, you'll kind of achieve the same thing at the same time. So I'm going to tape this just to the side here out of the way. And then I'm going to use a T15 Torx bit, take apart some of this, to press these tabs on the inside, pull that off. I'll show it all to you, don't worry. But we just want to get this cap off so we can get to that spotlight. Just undo this T15 screw right here. The other one is right here. Don't you love my tape job? Okay, we're close. Now we need to separate this front piece from the bezel here. And I'll give you a little bit of view. So now we need to pinch some plastic tabs here, here, and here, and that will release this front cover. So that's what you'll be watching next. I'm going to turn the mirror my way a little bit. Get your hand in here. Well, look, it barely needed any help. So we actually got it. Just undo this tape here. Let that dangle just for a second. It shouldn't come undone. This is a bit of a pain in the butt, if I remember from before. There. So you really got to kind of wiggle this off. It's not the easiest thing. But there is a plug here. And this one here, the black wire was facing up. But we want to get to the spotlight right here. So where this has trouble is sliding out of here. It's got to slide and line up with all these tabs and line up everything just right. So it's probably going to be harder to put back together, to be honest. But we want to get to this spotlight because we have our mod right over here. We've got some new upgraded smoked LED marker lights. You can see the design is much different. We've got 4 LED strips here, and it is a smoked lens. So I think that's gonna look a lot better than this white one here with the 2 LEDs. So when I said tinted, it was a little bit misleading because this is already smoked. But we could have tinted it, but we're gonna try this out and we're gonna compare the brightness after we install this one to the one that's still factory and see how much brighter they actually are. Now this shouldn't be too hard to get off. You can see there is a clip here. It's a little bit shorter than these long ones here. So if we unclip this side by prying back this tab, it'll release tension on these 2 and we should be able to pull it out and replace it. Now I remember this actually comes out so we can take it apart. It's funny how you forget things over time. So yeah, slide this out first and then you can just work on this on your bench and it's a lot easier. Either way, we got it out. Look at the heat sink on the old one and then the new one here. I don't know, this one's supposed to be brighter. That's what this video is going to hopefully highlight, but it's a big difference. I'm just gonna clip this in one-handed while I work the camera like a boss. And there's a weather stripping here, in case you're wondering. That's in, and this does say left hand, and then there is a right hand right here. Like that. That's gonna look better. So let's reinstall the mirror here. So heads up, you might have to bend the pins in here, make them a little tighter, because they didn't seem to grab onto here very tight when I first plugged it in. Very close now. Just bend it a little bit more. That's better. I'll point something else out too. On the back of the mirror, there's these prongs. These have to go in here or you're never going to get it back together. So it's like a bunch of pieces all fitting simultaneously to make it all work. Okay, that part's in. Aha, we got it. It's not really that fun. And so much for my tape job. I know you guys are impressed. If you think I'm rough with my finish, this is a self-healing wrap. So we're protected, don't worry. If this was direct to my paint, I'd probably hang a cloth down there or something. Just make sure your wires are up high enough here so you have enough slacks to clip this back in. I like to kind of get it looking flat again, and then just make sure you don't bend any of these tabs in and flatten them by accident. And we're just gonna kind of reverse the steps from the beginning. I can see the top clip lines up. Everything should clip in and sound like a good day at the chiropractor. There we go. Just have to wipe off all those handprints. Now these claim to be brighter. I got the smoked ones. I have them turned on right now. I don't think they're brighter, but I think they were useless before anyway, but I think these look cooler. Let's have a look at the original ones first, just to remind you. So here are the originals. You get these 2 dots, and they are bright, but they don't cast the light very far, so they're bright up close. They're almost like 2 phone lights. And then, if you come over to this side here, you get a totally different look. You get these nice, futuristic marker lights. I'd say these look more like a marker light now, as opposed to a spotlight. So that's what I'm gonna go with. It's actually brighter on the camera from what I can see, but to the naked eye, it is toned down quite a bit. I'll use my phone to get you some footage too, because I see it's a bit washed out on the camera. It blooms. We'll try the phone and see if I can show you the difference. Awesome, so let me get the one on the other side, and then we'll take it outside when it gets dark, and I'll give you some footage with it on at night. There we go. We got them both installed. Just tidy up a little bit. So let's turn them both on and have a look. It's this button right here. On and on. Gonna turn the garage lights off here, see if it makes a difference. Probably won't. No, not really. I think we're gonna have to wait till nighttime and have a closer look. Well, there we go. If you want my final verdict, I think they are better looking, but they're certainly not better brightness. They're definitely dimmer, but I do like these 4 LED strips. I think the look is cooler. We can use them as marker lights like I mentioned before. These do come in a clear version as well. I'll leave a link in the video description below. But if you like today's video, hit that like button. Please consider subscribing. We'll talk to you next time.